Today at the Games Armoury, we're looking at Recore, which is Microsoft's new exclusive IP on Xbox One and PC. And thanks to Microsoft's Play Anywhere system, it means you can buy on one platform and play on another. So other games coming out for that, I believe, are Forza Horizon 3, Gears of War 4 when that comes out, and there's a few more in the near future as well. So to give you a bit of background on Recore, you are Jewel Adams, which is the girl you can see in the video at the moment, and Mac, the K9 unit, which is on top of that bit of spaceship there, is your companion throughout the game. Now, originally, Jewel made her way to Far Eden, which is the planet you can see now, on the basis of building mankind's new home in partnership with the Corebots. However, something has gone dramatically wrong, as you can tell from the bits of spaceship that are lying around, and Jewel has awoken from a cryosleep. Yes, that classic interplanetary travel system way of making sure that humans do not die, and awoken to this world of nothing, effectively. So, as you can see straight away, there isn't much to look at the moment, but it is very well designed. It looks very pretty. There are elements of different games which you can make out. So an example there is the double boost. So the push A again gives you like a little jetpack. It's a bit like Titanfall. The easiest way to explain this game is a little bit like a very polished version of the original Tomb Raider in this sort of way the mechanics are working. And that's not a bad thing. You know, we do need sort of action adventure stroke third person platform games like that, because we've not had any for such a long time, and it's nice. It's actually quite refreshing to play a game like this. So there is a bit of an issue around the loading times on Xbox One, which we did experience at the very beginning. It takes between 90 seconds to 2 minutes to load into the game, which is a little excessive, but it's not going to be a deal breaker. You know, if you don't die very often, it's not really going to pose too much of a problem. So in these early stages, Mac, your K9 Corebot there, leads the way. He's sort of showing you where to go, and it's not really required, but the tutorial is very basic, so it does give you a little bit of an assistance at the beginning, shall we say. Later on in the game, Mac will just disappear out of sight, and you'll have to keep calling him back by pushing X. So as with most action adventure stroke third person platform games, it's all about getting access to different areas through a combination of jumping, using portals, collectibles, picking up audio logs, etc. So in a minute we're going to come to probably the first puzzle that you'll come across in the game, which is very, very basic. It teaches you about power cell bots, which open doors. Now generally the easy way to find them is they're constantly deactivated until you go near them, but they will have like a green aura around them like you've just seen here, and then all you need to do is walk near to the door and it'll automatically plug itself in. And during the game, at a later stage, rather than just having to find the one, you might need to find 5 or 6. And when it gets to that stage, you don't have to go backwards and forwards one by one. You can pick up all 5 in one go, and they'll follow you around, all 5 of them, like sheep, and then they'll just plug themselves in when you get near the door. So what is interesting about this game, it does have that heavy Japanese robot-y theme that you can see through games like Metroid Prime and Mega Man, and that goes in hand with the studios that they've used. The battle scenes are very well managed, so as you can see here, simply pushing RT will just fire the gun, quite basic. If you hold down RB, which is what happens, you'll build up a charge shot, which you can see now, which does a lot more damage, but obviously leaves you open to attacks. Later on in the game, which you will come across sort of at the end, towards the end of this first level, you'll learn about core extraction. So what we've done is we've filmed a little bit of that to show you, because it's a very clever system, it's very well implemented, and once you've got the hang of it, you'll probably be using it a lot of the time. As you can see in a minute, it gives you a basic idea. So it's a little bit like a tug of war between you and the Corebot, and what will happen is it'll bring up a system, and if you hold the right stick down and the rope or the wire glows red, it means it's about to snap. So we'll cover that off in a minute when it comes up. There is something which is a little bit annoying at this early stage, and you'll see it in a minute. But basically, the idea behind this is that you need to use a lot of heavy charge shots to defeat the bosses. Now, in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that D-pad symbol, and what it's saying is push down. Now, at the moment, if you push down, nothing will happen, so it shouldn't really be appearing on the screen at this early stage. Later on, it will give you the ability to swap your ammo. So at the moment where it's glowing red, once you've picked up parts for your gun, you can select red ammunition and you'll do more damage to the enemies that are lit up red, and then you've got blue, and then you've got yellow. So at the moment, it's a little bit of an annoyance that it's appearing there, and if you're like me, you'll be pushing down and thinking, what the hell is going on here? Because it's not actually doing anything whatsoever, and it's actually quite annoying. So don't make the same mistake that I did. Just ignore it for now, and then later on in the game you'll find it does actually have a benefit to it. Now, Mac can do what's called a charge. Now, what you'll do for that is you'll push LT, which will lock on to the enemy, and then you'll push Y, which will tell Mac to run straight through effectively. Now, what is worth mentioning is when you have LT pushed down, generally in a battle it will cause you to lock onto the closest enemy. You can't cycle through the enemies without coming back out of the lock on screen and then moving closer to an enemy you do want to lock onto. And whilst you're doing that, if you've got multiple enemies attacking you, it will take you back out the lock screen, but it will also throw the camera angle out slightly for a minute. So the more enemies they are, the more confusing it is to use the lock on. So generally what I do is I just charge shot and then move around quickly. And you can move around quickly and boost by pushing B, or you can just jump. Either will get you out of trouble really. So at the moment you can see Mac shooting, and this is what we're talking about with core extraction. You saw there that the rope or the wire lit up red, which means you're pulling back too far. And what you need to do is release the stick, let it go back, and then push RS again, pushing the right stick, and then start that whole extract process again. So here you can see it's going red, and then you're dropping it back and then pulling it again, and that way you're locked onto the core, but it's not going to break. And then eventually the core will come out like this. Obviously it's not going to be that big, it will get a bit smaller, make it easier to carry around. So it gives you a very basic insight into Recore. There are some really good bits on the game. We do recommend you check out our review on www.thegamesarmoury.com and let us know what you think.